It's more than just fodder for TV and radio that the president can't talk and can't walk. It's a national security threat. Joe Biden gets a briefing every day, a president's daily brief, it's actually called, where his intelligence people go in, military advisors, CIA director, and others. They will go in, they will sit down with the president of the United States of America, and he will get a folder, a binder. He's not even allowed to keep it, by the way. He will get a binder containing secrets that you and I will never, ever see. He has the highest security clearance, so he knows all. They present him with all. And then they discuss, how are we going to address this? How are we going to address that? What are we going to do about this and that? Top secret. It's really important that the president has a brain that is functioning to the point that he won't then go to the public and tell them the things that he just discussed in the meeting. For instance, if Russia is stacking up its troops on the border with Ukraine, and the president sits down with his security team and they discuss what they will do. And part of that discussion is, hey, Mr. President, it's one thing if it's a major invasion, or it's another thing if it's a minor incursion. And the president says, okay, sounds good. And then he goes to the American public and tells them that that's kind of a problem.
So I think what you're going to see is that Russia will be held accountable if it invades. And it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having a fight about what to do and not do, etc.
That's private, Joe. It's really important you keep that private. Should be noted, about 15 minutes after Joe Biden said that, Russia invaded. Of course they did. And this is why he's being controlled. This is why they're controlling him even more. This is why Joe Biden, on multiple occasions, keep in mind, Joe Biden is the top executive in the country. Joe Biden's the commander-in-chief. Joe Biden is supposed to be in charge, and yet repeatedly Joe Biden has said something the media never seems to ask him about. He's talked about how he's going to get in trouble.
I could go on, but I'm not. I'm going off script. I'm going to get in trouble. The time. I'm going to get in real trouble. This is the last question I'm taking.
What do you say to the folks in India?
Look, I'm sorry. This is the last question I'll take, and I'm really going to be in trouble.
If we had any kind of a media instead of a bunch of communist apparatchiks in this country, that might start to prompt follow-up questions, really simple ones, not even complicated ones. Questions like, get in trouble with who, Joe? Mr. President? Who is the person around you or people around you who sit down and get you in trouble, Joe? This is why I've said repeatedly that I have a theory. It's just a theory, keep in mind. I actually don't have any inside information on this. I believe the system is going to dump Joe Biden because remember, the system, it really only exists for one purpose. The system exists to protect the system. That's its only goal. They have this great thing going, the elites that run all the institutions. They're looting the country and burning it down. It's working out great. But the one thing they cannot allow is anything to attack the system, anything to hurt their goals. So the system knows it must protect itself. I think they're going to kick Joe Biden out. I think within a couple months, 2-3 months, I think they're going to announce that Joe Biden is not running for office anymore. Of course, it'll be something weird like a health scare. He's not going to say they made me stop. He's going to say, my heart's bothering me. Something along those lines. They'll probably hold the Hunter Biden stuff over his head, and they're going to kick him out and bring Gavin Newsom on in. We'll talk about that a little more.
For too long, we've been led to believe that communism is a thing of the past. But the truth is, communism is alive. It's here, and it's infiltrating every aspect of American life. Introducing the Anti-Communist Manifesto by Jesse Kelly, the practical guide for patriots ready to defend our nation from its most dangerous enemy. Discover the shocking extent of communist infiltration in our education system, their alliance with American corporations, and the twisted truth behind environmentalism. This eye-opening book exposes the true face of communism and empowers you to fight back. Join the fight for freedom. Pre-order your copy of the Anti-Communist Manifesto today by going to jessekelleybook.com.